Hello everyone, it's time for today's Fun Fold Friday. This is Lori Bradley and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in St. Louis, Missouri. And every Friday I post a new Fun Fold for you. So when you see this Fun Fold, happy 4th of July to those of you in the United States. I hope that you get some great barbecue and fireworks and fun and friends. So, that being said, let's get down to business. Today's card I'm going to call a flip up front fold. And it's very simple. It just looks like a regular card right here on the front. I'm holding down this flap so that it stays. And the front flap will fold up. All right, so this is very simple, but it looks fancy and I love those. I'm using the Florals in Bloom Designer Series paper today. So if you're wondering where the paper came from, that's the name of the paper. And I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of peach pie cardstock and a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of the Designer Series paper. The pattern on that side doesn't go the right direction, but we are just going to use a background piece. So this would be a piece, if you don't use this particular pattern, you would use a piece that is not a huge pattern, that's just more of a subtle type pattern. Okay, so that's 4 by 5 1/4. Put that on. You could use any colors, any patterns. It's just a fun, easy fold. The flip up front fold. All right, so we have that piece. Then I have another piece of peach pie cardstock that is 3 1/4 by 8 1/2, and that's just across the top of my piece of cardstock, and then I scored it at 4 1/4, which is right in the middle of that 8 1/2, and it folds like this. You can probably see where this is going. We're gonna put the adhesive on the back. You wanna make sure that you use a pretty firm adhesive for this, because this is the piece that's going to open, and you don't want to pull that flap right off the front of your card. That would be embarrassing. All right, so that's just going to get centered right on the front. Excuse me. We're going to do it just like that. Hopefully I got that straight. I have a 3 by 4 piece of white cardstock, and I have a 3 by 4 piece of Designer Series paper, and that was from the same Florals in Bloom Designer Series paper. And we're going to put the Designer Series paper on the front. So this is our focal point. So this is why I chose the flowers for this particular piece. I'm gonna put that right on the front. Gives us that nice little peach pie border. Just like that. And then our 3 by 4 piece of cardstock, white cardstock, will go right in the middle. And I've said before, one of the reasons that I like to do a 3 by 4 piece of Designer Series paper, whether it's one piece or I divide it, is because when you use 3 by 4 and you have a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, you get 12 of these from one sheet. So you get a whole lot of cards from one piece of Designer Series paper. All right, so that's pretty much the extent of it. Let's decorate it just a little bit. I have a stylish shaped circles, and I had the Label Me Grateful bundle on my desk from my Facebook Live online class. So I'm just gonna do You're the Best right here. I didn't want anything really big, and this could be for multiple occasions. You're the best. It could be thank you. It could be someone's birthday if you put happy birthday on the inside. Excuse me. And then I have a piece of Secret Sea ribbon, which is awesome. It's a lightweight, it's not super heavy, and I'm not gonna tie a real bow. I'm just going to loop it around like I'm making a bow, and I'm gonna tape it right on the back. And then it looks like a bow. I didn't have to struggle. Nobody had to watch me. And we're just gonna tape that right on the back of our circle. Just like that. And then because there's a little bit of bulk, we wanna use dimensionals to attach those. So I'm just going to do 2 dimensionals, one on each side of the ribbon, just so that that bulk in the middle doesn't cause our thing to fall apart. We can trim this and put that, let's see, let's go right about there, and then we'll take our snips. And this can be decorated any way that you want. It could be any any saying, any occasion. And then let's embellish it. I have the pressed flower motifs. And I've said this before, but if you haven't seen me use these, I do love these. They're a pretty metal with a pressed flower. You can see the flowers in there. They're very heavy. And so sometimes when the package comes, they're not fully attached. Sometimes they get a little crazy and they stick to the bag, and they're all out of whack. So just make sure that you peel the backing with it. The backing should still be okay, and you can still use those even if they came loose. And I'm just going to use some of those. Let's see, let's do a couple just like that. And there you have it. Super simple flip up front fold that looks like a regular card from the front. And there you go, we have our flip fold. Thank you for watching today's Fun Fold. I will see you next Friday for next week's Fun Fold. Have a great rest of your week and a great weekend.